Ooh.
Razzle dazzle fun. It's that Elon Musk touch of Elon.
Doing great work.
Yeah.
Doing great work.
Doing only the best work. Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Are you going to sign up for Blue Sky?
I put my email in.
I did too.
Did they set up a thing a while ago for that?
Yeah, I feel like
Probably.
I put my email in a long time ago too, but I did it again anyway.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I thought I did as well, but
yeah.
Hopefully I can get into there.
Someone will eventually do a Twitter replacement that is actually good.
Yeah, one of them's got to stick.
One of them will stick, I'm
theoretically.
Sure, right? Hello and welcome to episode number 858 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, May 2nd, 2023. I am your host, Chris Johnston, and with me as always from Canada is Mr. Greg Sewart.
Hello.
How's it going there, buddy?
It's going fine. It's a nice sunny day here.
Sunny day. Is it warm up there in Canada?
It's hard to tell through that filthy window behind me, but yeah, it's about, I don't know. I think it's like 12 degrees today. Celsius.
That means.
I see.
I don't know.
We've got it's 70 degrees where I am right now.
That's a lot warmer than 12.
It's pretty warm. But
that's 53.6 degrees.
So it's warmer here than it is in Halifax.
Yes.
My lights don't seem to be doing anything. It's probably that really bright sunlight behind me, but
I would assume.
Yeah.
But joining me from the great state of Washington is Mr. Phil Theobald.
How's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I am fine.
Excellent.
It's a bright sunny day here, as you can see.
It's bright and sunny out the window.
It's
I went for a walk this morning.
What's that?
I went for a walk this morning.
sounds
Really?
awful.
I know. Yeah, got
Don't
some
you
fresh
want a
air.
car?
I do. But
Did you lose the keys?
Yeah.
no, I just
Did in the
wanted to go
shop,
for a
or-
walk because
Are you out of fuel?
nice out? Yeah.
Where did you walk?
I don't follow.
Around the park. I live near a park and I walked
Uh-huh.
around it. That's my story.
Why not
and I'm
walk in
sticking
it?
to
Why not walk through it? It's a park.
He's not
It's
allowed
beautiful.
in it.
Well, there were people in the park. I didn't want to, boundaries. Don't want to walk where it's crowded. Crowded park. You never know what could happen.
You know what you could have spent that time doing?
What's
All
that?
of CJ's neighbors.
No.
Hanging some art
No.
in that room.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All of
Must
CJ's
not.
neighbors have filed complaints against him, so he's not allowed within 50 yards.
That's right. Yeah. I have an update on the litter robot.
The what?
Oh,
The cat litter box.
his-
that got
his-
the
Oh, right.
robotic.
Yes. I remember
machine.
you were showing
Litter
us
box,
your
I was-
cat's poop updates after last week.
I was very excited. Well, actually, like those were exploratory
dates.
visits into the box. There
Mhm.
was no actual leaving.
Defecation.
There was no
Oh.
leaving. There were no leavings in the box. But I made the mistake, made the grievous
Uh-oh.
error of taking the old litter box and like cleaning
Uh-oh.
it out, like getting it ready and putting it in the garage. Before the cats were acclimated to the new ones. So unfortunately, I woke up on Monday morning to a surprise leavings
up,
on the
Get
couch.
up, bed, and there was poop by my head.
Yes. Yeah. So that was
The cat poop on your bed?
not on the bed. No, on
Oh.
the couch.
Oh, on the couch.
On the couch, yeah. Poop on the couch.
There it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So quickly reversed course, put the old
Mhm.
litter box back in the room with the new.
How much was this
Litter
fancy
box.
litter box?
I don't want to say, but
How many hundreds of dollars did you pay for that privilege
They
of poop on your
They
couch?
do have a 90-day return policy, and
Even if it's theoretically been used?
Even if it's been used, yes.
Because
So
I'll tell you what, CJ, however much you paid for that litter box,
yeah.
I will come poop on your couch for half that price.
I see. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has been used once. One of the cats did use it once
Oh,
because there is something in the waste tray, but
Oh.
they have not used it since. Although they have
what's
been
in the
very
waste tray? Did you check it out?
it's a number one. Yeah, I checked it out.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna continue acclimating them to
Now
it.
let me ask you this, CJ.
Yeah.
Are you using, and this, you know what? All the poop couch talk, this is a serious question.
Uh-huh. Serious
Are you
question,
using
all
the
right.
same litter?
Yes.
You are using the same
Yes,
litter.
Same litter.
Now, okay. I
Yeah.
don't know what to tell you. They were right to poop on your couch.
That was the only idea you had.
That was the extent.
That was the extent of the advice.
Yep.
Well,
Look, I'm no
yeah.
veterinarian, I guess.
Vetnician?
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, well, finding
Yeah.
out that technology doesn't solve all of the world's problems.
It's true.
Not right away anyway. But let's talk about some video game news, why don't we?
Okay.
Yes. So we got news this week that PSVR 2, which came out via Sony's direct sort of website sales back in February.
Is that one on the floor right behind you?
That's the one.
Yep.
Is being released to retailers
No.
starting in May. So they say check with your retailers to see ship dates. But yes, PSVR 2
been in Walmart
going
here
wide.
for months.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I- when you put that on the outline, that was very confusing to me.
Well, not in the US.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen any around here.
Yeah, and other parts of the world as well. So yeah, they're going to start selling
Yeah,
them
I
in
mean,
stores.
I
Hmm.
bought mine at GameStop here
Wow.
when it came out. So yeah,
Hmm.
I had no idea
Hmm.
that this wasn't a thing.
It is not a thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, just in time for the release of Walkabout Mini Golf and another Fisherman's Tale, and of course Humanity in May.
Oh, right.
Exciting times. All right, we got a teaser for the Twisted Metal TV show that is going to start airing in July on Peacock. The
Yes.
streaming NBC/Comcast network. Peacock is
The
going to
Office
air
channel.
the one with all the Office.
Do they have
Yeah.
Friends as well?
No,
They don't
Friends
have
is
Friends.
HBO Max.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they do have The Office. They do have Parks and Recreation, which I am
Okay.
rewatching Parks and Recreation on Peacock as we speak. Well, not right now as we're
Right.
doing the podcast, but yeah,
Did you skip season 1 of Parks and Rec?
of course not. I usually still watch
Really?
it. It's only 6 episodes.
But it's very bad.
It's not great.
So that's
For as
basically-
great
it's
as that
basically
show
The Office.
became,
Yeah,
Season
seasons
1
2
is-
through 4 are like that's the sweet spot really for Parks and Rec.
when did that one guy leave the show? Did he leave?
That
Like,
was like season 2 or 3. You mean Mark Brandanowitz?
probably that guy that nobody liked and had zero
No.
charisma.
That's the one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that show
the one
didn't
that no
really
one
begin
liked and had
until
z-
Adam Scott and Rob Lowe
Rob
show
Lowe.
up.
I agree. Yeah,
I mean-
largely yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It really takes off once they're there.
Yes.
But we were talking about Twisted Metal here, and neither Rob
Speaking
Lowe
of
nor
Adam
Adam
Scott.
Scott are in Twisted Metal.
Speaking of
Although
Adam
maybe
Scott,
they should be.
I watched the new season of Party Down,
Oh crap! I gotta.
which
I want to watch that.
I'll be
I
honest
love
with you,
Party
I
Down.
was very worried about it
Mhm.
because bringing back comedy shows after a while, you run the risk of Arrested Development season 4
Yeah, but didn't they fix that?
by what, rearranging the episodes? No, that season was
Yes.
terrible.
They
That season-
apparently fixed it. They re-edited it, and
They did not fix it. season 4 of Arrested Development
Is
is
straight up bad.
terrible no matter how you slice it.
Okay.
And then Lizzie Kaplan's not in it,
Yeah, I know.
you know. But I'll tell you this, it was outstanding.
Has that finished up? Has that whole season run its course yet?
Yes,
Or?
it's also short. It's like 6 episodes.
Okay.
But yes,
I love Party
shockingly
Down.
good.
I have not watched any of the new season, however.
I suggest you do. Anyway,
Okay.
Twisted whatever.
Twisted
Yes.
Metal.
Yes.
New series coming out on Peacock. And they released a teaser.
Yes, they did.
The trailer that has Sweet Tooth in it and some other character.
The Falcon.
The Falcon. Okay.
Yep.
And
Or I'm sorry, Captain America now. He's Captain America now.
oh, is he? Okay.
He is.
Is
If you had watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
I have not.
Oh,
Which was-
yeah, I get it.
I've not.
which was
Sorry.
not terribly good,
Mm.
but he's now Captain America.
Well, there you go.
Mhm.
So Twisted Metal, yeah. What do you think about this? This being a like '90s video game series that nobody really remembers now, being turned into a television show, and this isn't Halo or The Last of Us, obviously.
Right.
Well,
but
neither Halo nor The Last of Us are 90s video game series, so
that's
Oh.
true. But
they're
it's a
still
video game,
a little more contemporary than Twisted Metal.
television show.
No.
What do you think? What do you think based on this teaser? What do you think its chances are?
Well, this teaser really didn't show
It
anything.
doesn't show much of
This
anything.
teaser's like 30 seconds long.
I mean,
Yeah.
it could be a good show just sort of in and of itself. Like it might, if maybe they're not necessarily going to be using the license to drive viewership as much as it just being like a good show.
Well,
to
they
drive
did show a
and-
lot
and
of
to shoot.
driving. They showed a lot of
Oh,
driving
okay,
in the
well,
teaser.
I get that. I'm not saying it won't be the same thing as what the
Right.
game
There's
was based
cars
on.
in it.
What I'm saying is that maybe the idea isn't necessarily that it's going to be, oh, all the fans of this game will come watch this show. Like maybe the idea is that it's just going to be a good show and that it's based on this thing. I
Now,
don't know.
did you watch the teaser, Greg?
No, I only found out about it 5 minutes before we recorded.
Okay.
So
Because I'll say this.
Mm.
The teaser, and again, shows nothing. You see
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie in a car.
Mhm.
He says, "I'm not falcon around anymore. Time to get twisted." And then he drives off.
I can't tell if he actually says that or if that's just some stupid Phil joke.
He drives off, and he doesn't actually say that, but he says something.
You should.
He says something like, to hold on to your butts. There's, something. And then he drives off. You see the car. You see he's got guns mounted on it. Pop, 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 pop. There's some explosions.
Which is like they should have shown what he was shooting at least.
Yeah, you don't see that.
You don't see that.
They play a comically mismatched song. It's like kind of a gentle, upbeat song. And then you see like the Twisted Metal logo. And then you see it cuts to like the ruins of Las Vegas. You see like the Las Vegas sign trashed, and there's the ice cream truck there, and it's playing a little ice cream truck jingle. And the camera pans around to the back of the truck, and you see Sweet Tooth for a second. He says, "I'm not clowning around anymore."
Are you sure you didn't write the screenplay for the pilot of?
I have a
Twisted
feeling it
Metal?
would be a better show. No, he just laughs, right? You hear like a
Yeah.
little chuckle,
Yeah,
and then that's the
Yeah.
end.
that's it. That's the end.
Also, Sweet
Sure.
Tooth's head's not on fire, which I can't tell if that's just like a budget
That's-
thing.
Not supposed to be on fire.
Isn't his head on fire?
No, I don't think so. Maybe it is.
I thought his head was on fire.
I thought so. Yes.
Oh, maybe it is.
Yeah.
In Twisted Metal canon, it is.
I never played Twisted Metal Canon.
That
When
was
did
the
that come out?
sequel to Twisted Metal Black.
So Black was the last game, right? Was that the last?
No,
game in the
didn't they do
series?
another one for? Didn't they do one for PS3?
Oh, yeah, they
was that a
did.
remake.
Did they?
I think it was just
Okay.
called Twisted Metal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like,
That's still quite a while ago.
I don't think anyone played that one. The last one I remember anyone playing was Black.
That came out in
Yeah.
2012. Wow.
Which one? The PS3 one?
PS3 game, yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be older than that.
I want to say Black didn't do as well as they thought it was going to either.
Is
I
that
just
right?
remember, I remember there being a ton of hype around because like Twisted Metal was coming back, and
Right. I
you know,
enjoyed
I mean,
Black.
I remember we put that on the cover. It was a good game, I thought, but
Yeah.
I feel like sort of the desire for that series had kind of passed for the most part at that point.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, yeah, it could be a good show. It's a pretty old. It is a pretty old license. You're right.
The tone of the trailer, honestly, gags aside, looks a little corny, a little cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has to be a little bit, doesn't it?
And I can't tell if it's like good cheesy or like we don't really have a budget.
Yeah.
Cheesy. Because again, the cheeser shows nothing.
Did you say the cheeser?
The cheeser.
I probably did.
Said the cheeser.
Cheeser. But yes, that's what this was.
A cheeser.
It was a cheeser.
Yeah.
I guess clowning around no more.
I guess we'll find out in July.
I'm here to satisfy your sweet tooth. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
That'd be great if he.
Like an evil Jimmy Durante voice.
Yeah.
Just let me tell you, you know who the kids love these days?
Jimmy Durante.
Jimmy Durante.
Speak to a whole new generation.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, he's not even our generation.
Yeah.
You ever think about the generation of kids that have grown up? They've heard the Metal Gear alert sound, but they don't know that it's from Metal Gear.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've heard that sound.
That's one of my favorite things in general about the internet is watching somebody discover something that we all knew 30 years ago. I guess in the video game space, at least the retro gaming space. I forget what it was this week. I wish I'd written it down when I saw it, but it was just like, what today I learned type thing, and it was just this some thing that was common knowledge 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now it's like this amazing revelation to a new generation of people, and it's like, man, God, I feel old.
Well, it's like every time someone discovers that a
Duck
second
hunt
player controlled the ducks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
that's the one that always gets me. It's like, it was in the manual, guys.
Yeah. They tell you they weren't hiding that.
It's right there.
But people who played Duck Hunt on emulation don't know that. They never saw the manual.
I know.
Right.
No, I get it. Well, I mean, not even that. I mean, how many people? There were a ton of NES games I played that I played the actual cartridge. I never saw the manual. Between rentals where they weren't allowed to have the manuals, and some of those places actually followed those rules. To just buying used games that the box and manual was gone. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So for context, Nintendo was against renting games.
Yes.
And they went after Blockbuster, right? I believe. Way back in the day. I think it was Blockbuster. It was some rental chain anyway. And the basis for that lawsuit was that they couldn't reprint. They were photocopying manuals so that the manuals didn't get lost or destroyed. And the basis for that lawsuit was that they were photocopying copyrighted material. And that's how they kind of went after game rentals. So what you ended up getting, I remember this in like the late 80s, early 90s, we would go rent things and you get like these plastic cases that had inserts that were like summaries of the controls for the game on like one page.
Yeah.
Little companies would pop up printing
to do that
stickers with controls and stuff on them
and avoid getting in trouble. Now, I mean, a lot of the rental places we went to, the mom and pop places around here, they just taped up the manuals and you got it when you rented the game. But but that was a thing. So yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people probably played a lot of these games without the manual, but still, that's the perfect example of it, Phil. That's the one that it pops up every few years. It's like, oh my God, did you know like the secret about Duck Hunt? It's like, it's not a secret.
I did know.
Yeah.
When Nintendo told me about it, I knew. Yeah.
Well, anyway, Twisted Metal. I assume that this also means there'll be a Twisted Metal game coming out soon. Because why have a television show?
I don't know.
without a game to go along with it. And I don't know that the Twisted Metal
cheap
titles
license
are out on PS Plus or anything. Well, yeah, probably that's part of it.
I hope there's an episode where through some sort of, because like there's magic in the world of Twisted Metal.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's like the whole premise, like, right? The villain grants wishes, right? So there should be an episode where through some sort of
that's
Huh?
true. You're right.
What?
I'd forgotten about that.
yeah,
Wait, there's a story?
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Weren't they all dead or something like that? Or am I? No, I'm thinking of Eternal Champions. Am I?
yeah, you're thinking of
Eternal
Eternal Champions.
Anyway,
They were all
which
dead.
should also come back as a television show.
Yeah,
For Quibi.
yeah.
Oh, wait, Quibi's not
No,
around.
Should have always been in a television show.
Twisted Metal is it's a competition, and the winner is granted a wish by oh, he had some edgy 90s name. I forget the villain's name.
Hmm.
But
Well, maybe he'll be in the show.
oh, I'm sure he will be. I mean, he's the catalyst for the whole
Calypso. It was Calypso.
Calypso, yes. And so there needs to be an episode where maybe Calypso's magic, where he turns all the main characters into little kids,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a Twisted Metal small brawl tie into the game,
That's pretty good.
Nice.
right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Uh-huh.
I still have my PlayStation 2 copy of that.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Because no one else wants it. Actually, Small Brawl wasn't bad, right?
No, Small World was pretty good.
Because that was
Yeah.
made by the original team, if I
think
remember
so.
correctly.
Including
Single track?
David Jaffe?
You might have
Maybe?
moved on by then. I don't know. But
I don't know.
Yeah, Single Track was around and doing stuff for a while there.
But they
They're
did not do 3 and 4.
No.
Yeah. That's
They're
why
doing
3 and 4
Twisted
And
Metal
sucked.
they were, yeah,
clones.
that was a massive, like, you could really tell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. They didn't have that sort of single track look and feel at all.
Right.
Hmm. Well, that is
Anyway.
unfortunate.
I'll certainly watch at least the first
An
episode.
episode? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. give it a shot.
Yeah. Hopefully it's
all right.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. And then we can look forward to the Jet Moto television show after that.
God, I
Where's my
hated
Jumping
Jet
Flash show?
We are getting a Horizon Zero Dawn show, right?
Are we really?
We are, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was announced a while ago. And a Fallout series is coming soon.
So that could be cool.
Fallout might actually
Definitely
be good.
Yeah. They could do something great with Fallout. Whether they do or not, who knows? But
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, we got a trailer for Armored Core 6.
that is going to be the most From Software game you've ever played in your life. And I mean that exactly how it sounds. For those who want that kind of game, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. And for the rest of it, it's going to be nearly impossible to play.
Well, it's also going to be the most popular Armored Core that they've ever put out, right?
Well,
This
yeah,
is going to have the most
absolutely.
attention paid to it.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? I mean, Armored Core was around forever. They just kept
Nobody cared.
toiling away at it.
Yep.
Yeah. And finally, I mean, that's what From Software has done forever, right? Like they had Armored
Yeah.
Core and they had
Yep.
Kingsfield /
Kingsfield.
Demon Souls,
Yep.
Dark Souls. I mean, if Sony had wanted to make another Demon Souls game, From wouldn't have gone to make Dark Souls themselves, right? Like the fact
Right.
that Demon Souls was not like a huge hit
Mm-hmm.
is the reason why From Software has like continued to flourish with that genre.
Like Armored Core From Software always reminded me of, and it was because of Armored Core. It always reminded me of like the Tokyo Extreme Racer series with
Yeah.
Genki, where it's just like it was clearly a labor of love for that team and that company. It's like, yeah, these aren't super successful, but this
Yeah.
is what we know, and we really love this, and we're really proud of this, and we're just gonna keep going. And it's like it feels like, you know, when Dark Souls became a hit, I doubt anyone expected it to become the hit that it did. But then Armored Core took a back seat. So I mean, I'm kind of excited for them that they're going to be able to, you know, do another Armored Core.
Yeah.
But I also know that it'll be, I mean, I felt like those games were pretty unplayable 25 years ago. I think
yeah.
now it'll just be, like I
Well,
said,
you
it'll
think
be the most
they'll-
From Software thing ever.
Well, do you think they will bring some of their Souls-like stuff forward
I think so.
to
Yes,
this genre? And
that's what I'm getting at.
like, what are the people who are fans of Souls-likes and From's output there going to think of this game, which is
I'm curious.
different?
I know, like one of the guys I work with. Well, there's like a whole video game Slack channel at work, and speaking of people who discover things like you can control the duck with the second controller, and that's nothing against I'm just talking about they're young, is what I'm saying. Is they're young.
Yeah.
And when Armored Core was announced, there was one guy who he's one of those guys that like, oh, this looks interesting, and oh, it's part of a big series. I'm gonna go back and play these.
Oh,
Like that's kind of his thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows that they're not always going to be great or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so he went back and was playing some of the old Armored Cores, and it was just like, whoa, okay, this certainly is a thing. So yeah, but you know, again, that was something they stuck with and they kept plugging away at, and here we are.
Now, have you watched, Greg, the new trailer?
No, I watched the reveal.
Okay.
I didn't know there was a new trailer until
there is a new trailer
5 minutes ago.
New trailer comes out in August.
The reveal looked good.
Yeah, well,
the new trailer looks good.
See, before you showed up, Greg, CJ and I, we watched the trailer together.
We partook.
It was
Did
kind of
you
a
do a
nice
trailer?
bonding experience.
You realized you should have done a reaction video.
Really, we were starting to.
We should really get some traffic going.
And we
here.
actually commented on that very specific thing.
That's right.
Yeah. Our comments were like, oh, they say the word dog. Are there dogs? This looks like
dogs
never
in
mind.
space?
I
You know
think
what?
they're in space.
I was wrong. We wouldn't attract any traffic.
And then we
You
went,
guys doing reaction
whoa,
videos.
what?
Oh, that's better. Okay,
Yeah.
now we're talking. Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you had YouTube
missiles. That missile's a lot of missiles. What?
Philip, that's our thumbnail right there. There it is.
Yeah.
But it looked, I mean, I'm interested in playing it.
Oh,
It
you know what?
looks
I'm
good.
sure it'll be really good.
Yeah.
I don't mean to make it sound like it's going to be a bad game. I have a feeling it'll be quite good. I just have a feeling it's going to be completely inscrutable for those of us who aren't interested in learning how to play.
I'll be honest with you. The vibe I got from the trailer, it felt like it was just an ounce of anime bullshit away from being a Zone of the Enders game.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
They didn't show any human characters, so you know.
Speaking of
that's just it.
Speaking of inscrutable,
Oh, I love
let's get some Hideo Kojima up in here.
I love, for as much as I can't deal with Kojima's nonsense these days, I love
I was all in back when those games came out.
Zone of the Enders, and especially part 2. My goodness. Holy cow.
The second runner.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I love it.
edition of that.
Every now and again, I will just I'll just pop on YouTube and just watch the whole intro sequence.
I remember that game looking so good when it came out too. My God, it looked good.
Yep. So I
Well,
don't
anyway,
know. I'm
Armored Core 6.
interested in Armored Core 6. We'll
Yeah.
see. It might end up being too overwhelming for me to get into, but
I think even if it's got inscrutable bullshit
Yeah.
happening, I think people who have sort of grown into the Souls genre
Oh yeah,
probably eat that shit up with a spoon.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's like
gonna
I'm
be
saying.
good.
It's definitely. I'm 100% sure that it will be a good game.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
but it'll be.
Will
aimed
it be
at
on people's
Souls
Game of the Year
crowd.
list at the end of the year? Will it be enough?
Probably not mine.
Yeah. It's not going to be on mine.
I got a lot of Final Fantasy remakes.
It's a pretty
to play
bold
this year.
statement for a game you haven't played, CJ.
Oh, I can pretty confidently say it.
What would you review?
won't,
Having
but I
not
don't
played
know.
this game, what would you give it in EGM?
3.5.
I mean, you've watched
No.
2 trailers for it now. which is enough.
3.5. Wow.
No, I have no
CJ,
no, no
you're
real
forgetting the
interest.
rules. When you review a game you didn't play in EGM, it's a 7.5.
I thought it was 5.5. Like
No.
the middle of the road. No? Oh, okay,
5.5 is going to get you an angry phone call from the publisher.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're probably right. Damn.
I'm just kidding. That never happened.
Sure it did.
Or am I?
All right. Well, we have a list of songs. Speaking of getting old, we have a list of songs from the Samba de Amigo Party Central game that comes out this summer.
Oh,
And
right.
it's full of songs I have no idea. I've never heard of these performers, and a
Okay.
couple that I've actually
You never heard of Miley Cyrus or Kesha or the Jonah Brothers or Nicki Minaj or the Jay Giles band? CJ, come on,
well, I've heard of
you've heard of
them,
them.
obviously.
Let me tell you something, CJ.
Pitbull, Ricky Martin.
The
Ricky
party
Martin, yes.
don't start till I walk in.
Sam and the Womp.
That's
You've
a
heard
good
that.
song. That's a good song.
So
Okay,
most of
TikTok by Kesha.
I have terrible music taste, and I've heard of most of these. Carly Rae Jepsen, Ariana Grande, Diplo.
Well, okay. I mean, I may
Gloria
have heard of some
Gaynor,
of these people, but
CJ.
I'm not a fan of the Jonas Brothers, Diplo, Cheat Codes.
I'm just saying that there are more names on this list I recognize than I don't. And
Okay.
they're not, and it's not all because they're new.
Sam and the
There's some
Womp.
old stuff up here. Yes, Sam and the Womp.
No,
You've heard that song.
I'm sure
Bomb
I have.
Bomb.
I'm
That's
sure
a
I
great
have.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Ricky Martin on here. So yeah, and La Bamba. Yeah, so some
A
good stuff.
cover of La Bamba. Come on.
Yeah, but it's still La Bamba.
Yeah.
It's a cover.
I hope it has the other, like the
These-
Samba de Janeiro song. I have to
Right.
imagine it will, right? But
It needs what it needs is some alien ant farm. We need some smooth criminal up in here.
Oh, there you go.
That was a
you
great
go.
cover of that song.
Or Dragula. It can also have
Nope.
Dragula.
Nope. This episode's over.
Why not? What do you have against
Although
Dragula?
this is from the era where that song was in absolutely everything.
What do you have against Dracula?
I still vividly remember playing the Japanese version of Jet Grind Radio is what it came here as finally, Jet Set Radio
Yeah.
for the Dreamcast, and getting a press release from Sega of America saying when this game comes out, it's going to have an updated soundtrack for a few more Western centric songs. And I said, when we read that release, I said, guaranteed Dragula will be on the damn soundtrack.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we got it. And I think that was like the first song that played.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah. But yeah, very excited about new Samba de Amigo. Excited about
It's a
that.
pretty decent song list, I have to say.
Yeah.
There's some
It's
stuff
not
on there,
bad.
some older stuff on there, and yeah.
And they'll have DLC
Yep.
as well. All right. Let's talk about Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, because previews for Zelda came out last week and got a bunch of new impressions and footage of the game, and it continues to look awesome. And I am continued to be totally hyped for this game.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of the previews covered like the same, they were in the same sort of walled garden by from Nintendo representatives. So the previews themselves weren't too much different, but they did like talk about tackling Moblin fort and using the recall power to like throw like a spiked ball back at them. And you can combine one of the combinations with arrows that they did was like they put a poisonous flower on an arrow. When you shot it at an enemy, they were blinded and started coughing, so you could go in and attack. So some interesting stuff there. They did say, but they didn't elaborate on there being an easier way to build stuff. So with the Ultra Hand, you have to build vehicles and things. Apparently there is an easier way to do that than manually. They just could not say what that is.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe they're addressing that for us oldsters that don't want to build or be creative in games. But yeah, I'm excited. We're not far away from the launch at this point. Almost 2 weeks away. Very excited. Very excited.
I am excited to play it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. We can hold some of this talk for a little bit later. Let's get into what you've been playing. Phil, what do you
Yes,
got for us, buddy?
buddy,
Buddy?
buddy.
Not your buddy, pal. Not your pal, friend. Sorry,
Old
My
chum.
goodness,
chum.
Canadians,
Mm.
so
Right.
rude. It's so
That
famously
was
rude.
that was a fight in Canada, right there.
Oh, I know.
Hmm.
I've been playing. Well, I'll get this one out of the way because no one cares. But I bought a new arcade archive game that was released.
This was the one thing on your list that I wanted to ask why you were playing, but
because it's great. That's why.
it is great. Now I know why you were playing it. I didn't realize it had been released.
Yeah, I'm on more of a Galaga game kick. Last week I was talking about Cosmo Gang the video, which is a Galaga adjacent experience from Namco. And this week we got Galaga 88 on the arcade archives, and I love Galaga 88. So, I mean, Galaga is an outstanding game, no matter what.
That's true.
And the 88 version is vastly improved over the original, of course. Looks super pretty. So I was very excited to pick that up. So not much to say. It's Galaga, just prettier and some more features. But
I picked up Cosmo Gang the video last week and played a little bit of it. Really enjoyable.
It's a great game,
fun.
right?
Yeah.
You bet it is. It's like these Namco people knew what they were doing when it came to fun arcade style games.
Yeah.
They were pretty good at making arcade games.
Yep.
Indeed.
So yeah, I got that. I would get so many more arcade archive games if they weren't like $8 a pop. I say this every time.
$8 in the grand scheme of things with the way that video games are moving up in price isn't really that much, but yeah.
You multiply it by X number of games, and
there are a lot of arcade archive.
They've been releasing one game a week for like how many years?
Yeah, there's a lot of
years. Yeah,
there's a lot.
Yeah,
but and of course, I'm very excited because the new Picross game came out. S9.
Picross S9.
S9 was released, so I picked that up, of course.
Hey, me too.
I had that pre-ordered.
I had it preloaded, ready to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Picross. So I don't know what sort of assist features you use, Phil. Probably none. But I do use some assist features.
I use one assist feature.
The one that I use is the one that highlights numbers on like lines that you could like figure out.
Yes, that's the one I use as well.
There, I use that in all the Picross games where it is available.
Yes.
However, I noticed in this one, I thought I was turning it on, but it didn't turn on. I had to hit like the left bumper.
Okay.
To turn it on, and at first I was like, "Where's this feature?" Like I went into the options, I turned it on. It's not on. Like, what has happened? I went into like all my other Picross games, and it's on. But apparently, when you just choose that option, it didn't turn itself on.
Oh,
So, you could toggle it on or off. Who knew?
Maybe I must have toggled it on and not realized it.
Or maybe I turned it off and didn't realize.
That could also be it.
Yeah.
That is possible.
That's more likely.
Yeah.
That is possible. But
yeah. Not much more to say about it. It's more Picross.
So I used the rewind feature.
Oh, did you?
Already. I did. I used it because I had placed a couple wrong. I do not have the assist on that tells you when you made a mistake or like auto corrects, because I really don't like that. But I had made a series of mistakes, let's just say, and used
they tend to multiply fast in that game.
They do. Yeah. That's true. And then I used the rewind feature to go back to the point where I started making mistakes and continued from there. And it was actually quite nice to have that functionality in this.
Good.
Cool. It kind of brings up a it's not exact maybe with gameplay. It's not like a retro rewind feature, but it like takes you back with the different steps that you've made.
Yes.
I wasn't sure how many steps you could go back, but I was able to do it without a problem. So
Can you rewind the whole puzzle from the start?
I do not know. I did
Okay.
not have to do that.
Okay.
So I'm not sure.
If I ever end up in a no-win situation, if I make a mistake and it starts to slowly build upon itself,
Yeah.
I will continue doing this here, but I will just quit
And
and start
restart.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although maybe you should check out the rewind feature.
You know what?
No.
I deserve to start over. If I made a mistake, I deserve to start over.
There you go.
This is kind of like the Dark Souls of the cross.
I see.
You know.
I see.
So
Yeah. I also loaded up like the Sega Picross and some of the other ones while waiting for S9 to come out. I just basically like went back and played some more of the ones that I
very
had on
nice.
my Switch. There's such great puzzle games though.
You know what I noticed? And this was a little weird. So one of the features that these Picross S games have is they have extra. They have an extra mode.
Mhm.
And the extra modes are just a handful of puzzles, but they are incredibly large puzzles. I forget the exact dimensions of them, but they're huge. Like to the point where it's going to take you hours to finish a puzzle. And I think they usually have 2 of these giant puzzles, and then you can usually get up to 3 more if you have purchased previous Picross games and the games detect save data on your system. And certainly this one is the same way. I think it checks if you've bought S4, 5, and 6, maybe? Or maybe it's 6, 7, and 8. I can't remember. But I went into the extra mode. Because one of the first things I do with these new Picross games is I will just enter every mode just to get the little pop-up dialogue help boxes out of the way. So I don't have to see them anymore.
Yeah.
And I went into the extra mode, and it didn't unlock the 3 puzzles. And I clicked on them, and it's like, oh, this will unlock if we detect S6 save data. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I've surely purchased these, and I've certainly played them.
Yeah.
So what I ended up having to do is load up each of those games again, and then exit out of them. And then when I went back into the game, then a little message popped up. It was like, oh, yeah, you've been playing S5. Here's that a puzzle unlock.
Oh, it needed a recent save or something?
I guess. I just had to remind my Switch system that I played those games before. It's not like I solved new puzzles or anything, but I just loaded them up just to kind of nudge the Switch and go, remember when I bought those games? So
I see.
It was a little weird.
Okay.
3.5.
At least you played it.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wow.
They
also released on their YouTube channel a soundtrack series for the Picross series. It's like a 2.5-hour soundtrack that you can watch on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you want to. If you want to just mellow out with sounds of Picross, you can do that.
You know what? I'm going to say this about these Picross games is I love the music in them.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the soundtracks, the soundtracks are usually quite mellow, quite chill.
Definitely chill.
And every now and again, though, I'll come across a Picross game where it'll have a track that I just absolutely adore.
Mm-hmm.
And which is good because you can end up listening to it for hours and hours as you play. And Picross S8 is one of those games that has one of those tracks that I just love. And it's breaking my heart that I can't listen to that music in S9 now. I'm like, I want to listen to the S8 music in S9. They should
just throw on YouTube and listen.
It's not the same. He's not the same.
Yeah.
So there should be an option, Jupiter, because I know you're listening. There should be an option to listen to all the previous soundtracks in the new
there
games.
Absolutely should.
Just start stacking the soundtracks.
Yeah.
Across S9 should have the S1 through 8 soundtracks included as well.
That'd be fun.
I would be. Make
Like
it happen.
If you own them, you have access to those songs.
Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean,
There
why
it is.
not?
Have it unlocked.
How big could that possibly be? How,
Right?
that's not going to impact the file size for the game.
I mean, how much would it impact the file size?
Probably not much.
Because they're not like
They're not
super
huge
long
games
tracks or
anyway.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be Yeah, detects this just like the extra puzzles. Get on it, Jupiter.
Yeah.
Let's make that a feature for S10.
Yes.
Do you think they'll just call it S10, right? Or
I
will it
imagine they will.
be SX
I don't think so.
to make it
No.
extreme?
No,
I think they'll make it
It's not the
S10.
90s anymore.
See,
It'll be
this is
10.
why I haven't been
Or
able
the
to play
early
Clax
2000s.
lately.
Hmm.
I've been so busy. Anyway,
There's no time for Clax anymore.
yeah, that was the joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just in case you weren't sure, folks.
Womp womp.
I got the new Star Wars game as well. I got
Jedi Survivor. Now, were
Jedi
you able
Survivor.
to deal with the terrible performance issues that the game is apparently suffering from?
Well, I'll tell you this.
I tell you what.
I got it yesterday, and I
You haven't-
played an hour and a half, maybe. I didn't have, I just started playing it last night.
How long did the day one patch take to download?
I don't know. Well, you know what? Because I got it in the afternoon.
Mhm.
Because I got the physical version. Because that's how I am. And I threw it into my system, and it started copying over and downloading whatever it needed to download while I was finishing up my work day. So
I had heard the
Okay.
day one patch was 150 gigs.
150 gigs. Yep, that's what I
Wow.
heard. here.
Yeah.
It was big.
well,
Basically downloading the whole game again.
there you go. So yeah, but by the time I had finished my work day, it was done. So everything's fine.
Nice.
But yeah, but I only got to play it for about an hour and a half yesterday, maybe 2.
Mhm.
But I didn't have any issues. So maybe
Yeah.
I just got lucky.
Are you playing in quality mode, performance
I-
mode? What are we?
I am playing quality mode.
Quality. Okay. So you're
Yes.
30 frames.
Yes, I'm 30 frames, but significantly prettier,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm fine with. Because boy, oh boy, that's a pretty game.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm just I'm still in the early part of the game. I'm still on Coruscant. So you're just seeing like the futuristic city environments and such, but yeah, it's real pretty.
Hmm.
It's a nice looking game. So, and I'm enjoying it so far. I'm having a blast. I enjoyed the first game. It wasn't perfect, but it was a very competent Star Wars game. And I'm just, I'm playing it for the Star Warsiness of it. So I'm having a really good time with it so far.
Star Warsiness.
Yeah. I'm assuming neither of you are playing this.
No.
Are either of you going to play it?
No.
I'd like to, but
Yeah.
it's not, between Advance Wars coming out last week
Right.
and Zelda coming out
Right.
very soon, and
Right.
then the Pixel remasters, it kind of fell lower on the list.
I understand.
I'm not paying $100 for a game that I probably won't play for months.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That'll probably be discounted for half the price by the time you would be able to play it.
Yeah, that's probably true. But yeah, I'm having a very good time with it so far. So I will be continuing to play it This seems like this will be the main game for me for a while. So
Until
I
Zelda.
see.
this looks like this will be the main game for me for a while until I finish it.
What do you have against Zelda, Phil? What do
I
you
have nothing
have?
against
I
Zelda.
think we've heard already.
We've established it.
I have
Yes.
absolutely nothing against that. I'm certainly
Yeah.
going to purchase Zelda.
Yeah.
I will play it for several hours.
I
Six?
understand it. I understand
Does that count as
it.
several? I don't know.
It does. It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm having a very good time with it.
Excellent.
Yes.
Alright.
I'm playing it on easy mode because I'm mostly playing it for the story.
Uh-huh.
You know, I don't want to have to deal with dying over and over again and restarting stuff because that would frustrate me
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
would quit playing it. So I am happy to I didn't set it to story mode just because I didn't want to completely walk through it, but I have it on easy and so far it seems like a fine enough experience for me. I'm getting to pull off some neat lightsaber / force combos to murder stormtroopers. And yeah.
Nice.
So seems good.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. But that's what I've been playing.
Alrighty. Well, I've been a little busy because Humanity is coming out in a couple of weeks right after Zelda. Perfectly timed game release. So getting ready for that. Previews for it hit last week, which was awesome to see. You know, you work on a game for a long time, you can kind of not know how other people are going to perceive it or see it. So when previews came out and they were largely very positive, it was just, you know, great to see. And then on PlayStation's YouTube channel, you can see a deep dive video that I did with Mark McDonald, who is the executive
Mark
producer.
McDonald?
The Mark McDonald.
Holy crap.
From
I
the
gotta go to
84
goodness.
watch
Play
YouTube.
podcast and EGM back in the day. And yeah, we did a 25-minute video, and that is up now on the PlayStation YouTube channel. And I ended up editing that video and doing all the gameplay stuff for that as well. So yeah,
CJ.
yeah, doing a lot of that stuff for Humanity. So very happy
fun.
with that. That game comes out on the 16th of May, and I'm very excited about that release date. So, and it'll be on PS Plus Extra and Premium if you've got that. But anyway, aside from that, I have been playing a game called A Little to the Left. This is a puzzle game on Switch. I think it's on Steam as well. It is a puzzle game about putting things in order, largely, and it has a daily puzzle thing. It's called the Daily Fix or something like that. The Daily Tilt, one something like that. I've been playing some of those sort of daily challenges, which have been fun, and it gives you badges for playing those as well. But it's a fun little game that I've just been wasting time with in between Picross games. I'm on kind of a puzzle kick at the moment.
Apparently.
And as part of that, I picked up a game on the PlayStation because it was on sale called The Entropy Center. And this game really is influenced by games like Portal and like the Stanley Parable. It is a puzzle game where you have a gun that rewinds time for for the objects you shoot at. So there are a lot of like block and switch type puzzles where it'll remember the places that you've moved these blocks. So you pick up the block, move it around, then you get into position by like a door that the switch is going to activate or open, and then you shoot at the block and it'll start rewinding time and you can stop it and things like that. So a really good, fun Portal-esque puzzle game that I'm enjoying quite a bit.
Alright.
The idea is you wake up in this testing facility and it's in ruins. You have no idea what happened or even how you got there. You're told that you are a tester for these puzzles, and you go through this sort of dilapidated office park space where they have the various puzzles set up, and then you meet this like AI robot comes in,
And this
comes
is Portal,
crashing
you
through.
said?
What's that?
And this is Portal? You're playing?
No, I'm playing the Entropy Center is the name of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it wants to be Portal. It wants to be the Stanley Parable, that kind of game.
I see.
But the puzzle mechanics with the rewinding time, it's pretty interesting and pretty fun. So I'm enjoying that. And it's very chill, which is always a good thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So, Greg, what have you got for us?
Yeah, I just sort of couldn't put Final Fantasy down this week. I ended up finishing it last night. The first one, the Pixel Remaster. There's not a whole lot more to say about it than I said last week. I mean, it's just a fantastic, super user-friendly way to experience that game. The more I played it, the more I really came to appreciate sort of not only the upgrades, but as far as like the optimization of equipment and stuff like that, but also the I hesitate to use the term quality of life, but I know that's what everyone uses when they talk about stuff like this. Those settings too, like as far as the 4 times money and experience and stuff like that. And I ended up, as I was getting near the end of the game yesterday, one of the trophies, and I don't really do a lot of trophy hunting, but sort of just playing through that game, for the most part, you're going to get a platinum. If you finish the game, you're going to get a platinum, more or less. You have to get every chest, and you have to fill out the bestiary, which they're the 2 hardest things to do outside of just finishing the game. So as I was sort of heading into the final level, I went back and checked the list, and actually probably the only interface thing that I have to say, not necessarily don't like, but I would like to see them change, is having access to that list while you're in the game. You have to go back out to the main menu to get to that list, which is kind of a pain. But I mean, that's such a small complaint. But when you're in that list, what's nice is that you can go to a map. You just go to it's the world map that you can scroll around, and it'll show you where these monsters are generally on the map, including any dungeon or anything like that. There's just an arrow over it, and if you press X, Y, or whatever, A or B, whatever it is on the Switch, when you're hovering over the arrow, it'll tell you what monsters are in that dungeon, and if you've gotten them all. So I was looking at the list, and I figured the last, I don't know, 8 of them or whatever, I think it was like 128, including the final boss, would be in the final level. But there was sort of a couple of missed monsters on the list. So I just went and did some cleanup based on going on that map. You'll see like a circle with a question mark in it. So it's like if something is there in that region that you haven't fought yet. But by far the biggest time sink yesterday before I finished the game, because I decided to want to do that, is you fight 4 fiends in that game, and the 4th one that you fight is Tiamat, which is the Fiend of Wind. And in the floating fortress that you're in to go to fight him, there's probably about 3 screens high single lane bridge that you have to walk up to get to this boss. And then you get there, you fight him, and that's the final crystal, and then you can go to the final level to fight Chaos. There is a monster on that bridge called Warmech that has somebody said 1 in 64, but I think it's actually a 3 in 64 chance of spawning. It's easily the hardest thing in the game outside of the final boss. But you need it to fill out this to get this trophy. So I decided I'm going to do that. So I walked up and down those 3 screens for 2.5 hours last
Oh,
waiting for my damn
I
PS.
thought you weren't a trophy hunter.
I'm not, but I was so close. It's like I knew that I was going to finish the game, and there'd be that one item on that one list. I want to do this,
Yeah.
so I did it. Again, not a knock on the game. It's always been that way. That since the very first game, that monster is on that bridge and has a very low chance of spawning.
Mm.
And if you're playing the game like at the legit difficulty level, it also has a very high chance of killing you. So you don't want it to spawn a lot anyway. But yeah, no, went and then I finished the game, got the ending, got the platinum trophy. And what a great way to just get to re-experience it. Like I love that as someone who has played through that game multiple times at the standard difficulty level, starting way back in 1990, and all the different remakes, like, you know, played through a bunch of them multiple times. It was nice to get to experience this update without having to sink like 40 or 50 hours into it. Actually, I don't think the original Final Fantasy takes that long, to be honest, even when you're playing it at regular difficulty. But either way, like, you know, not having to sink that amount of time into it, just to kind of get to see everything, to experience the music, which is still by far the most amazing part of that whole remake. The soundtrack is absolutely gorgeous. So I was just really happy to be able to get through it. And now I'm like all in. Now I want to play through all of these remakes. And then I think the re-release of Final Fantasy VII that came out a while back, not the remaster, but it's the old PlayStation version, but I think it has a similar buff in there where you can, you know, speed up your leveling and your money generation as well. So I might even jump into that because I'm in a Final Fantasy mood. And hey, the new one comes out soon too, which I think I'm going to be jumping into as well. So yeah, just really enjoyed being able to experience that again and you know, relive it. My kids were watching me play it, and I was telling them, because I mean, it still looks like an old game, and I was telling them, like, oh, this was when I was a kid. Like, this was I was so into Final Fantasy, and I mentioned to my daughter yesterday, like, where I'm sitting here to record this is where I sat to play the original game, because this is the house I grew up in. And like our big floor model TV was right in this corner that I'm sitting in right now. And like it was the only TV we had back then. And so like I would wait for my dad to go to bed, and I would sit right here in front of this TV, like right on the floor, right behind me, and play Final Fantasy every night.
Wow.
So it was cool. But then they were like, oh, so is this what games look like back then? I was like, no. And I went and fired up
looked
the
even
original
worse
NES game, and they were like, oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They weren't impressed. So, but yeah, no, that's what I played this week. I tore through the Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. I wanted to jump into 2 right away, but I have Advance Wars, and I really want to play more of that. So I'm going to focus on that, I think, for the next week or so.
I see.
That's it.
Alrighty. Well, if that's it, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Oh, twiddly diddly dee. A twiddly diddly dee. Tweet, tweet, tweet and tweet.
All right. Let's do this one from hacker alias Catsburst, who says, I only recently got a Switch and I'm looking into its games library now, but I'm having trouble finding good games that I don't already own on other platforms. Can you recommend some truly exclusive Switch games? Doesn't matter whether they're AAA or eShop indies, just as long as they're not available on other platforms. I already have some of the big hitters like Metroid Dread and Mario Odyssey. Well, if you've not played Breath of the Wild, you might want to do that.
Advance Wars just came out.
Advance Wars. Yeah, anything
well, I guess you
Nintendo.
technically get that on Game Boy Advance, but
yeah,
anything Nintendo is going to be exclusive, obviously. You got Mario Odyssey, which is one of the best games on the Switch still. So that's good.
There are 9 Picross S games.
I was going to say Picross. Yeah, for sure. Any of those games are absolutely excellent.
I'm trying to think, like,
But outside of Nintendo stuff, there honestly like isn't a whole lot that's exclusive to
Like
Switch.
genuinely exclusive, yeah.
Yeah.
And a
Because
lot of the stuff I play on Switch, even the eShop stuff, is stuff that's available
yeah.
on other systems.
I would think though that you would be interested in maybe games that are on other platforms but work really well with the portable form factor, like
Right.
Dead Cells or Hades or Hollow Knight or something like that, where it's nice to have it portable, where you don't have to
Mhm.
be sitting in front of a TV to play it all the time, unless you
Yeah.
also have a Steam Deck, in which case you're set in that front. But yeah, and obviously anything Nintendo makes is big. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, if you're into platformers at all, that was a really good one.
Mhm.
Splatoon, if you like shooters at all or competitive games. Yeah. All
Oh
righty.
yeah.
Let's do this one from listener Chris Tilton, who says, "What's the oldest game on your backlog that you are still convinced you'll get to one day?"
Oh boy.
I mean, it'd be easy to just say something ridiculous like something on the old NES that
Yeah.
like I don't think I've ever played through, like Dragon Warrior 4 or something like
Mm.
that. But legitimately, because I was actually thinking about this the other day, ever since Police Knots got a fan translation,
Oh,
I've been telling myself I'm going to play through that.
yeah.
And I haven't yet. I think that's like 96 or
Oh,
97 is when that came out. So I'd say that's probably the legit oldest game that I keep telling myself I'm going to get back to and actually play.
The the one that's on my list for that is Crusader of Sente,
ah,
which was a
I just played through that earlier this year.
good.
It is. It's you know what? It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
You have to let go of the idea that it's a Zelda clone because it is not.
Okay.
It looks like it is,
Right.
down to the point that it looks like they ripped some of the sprites right out of the Super Nintendo cartridge, but
Oh.
no, it's not. It's not really a Zelda clone.
Okay.
And once you kind of accept that, it's a fun little game.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play it since 1995. So,
Not that long either.
oh, really?
No, not at all.
Okay. Now see,
And
now we're
it's on-
talking.
It was just on the Mega Drive. You didn't get a Genesis Mini 2, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did. I'm pretty sure it's on the Genesis Mini too.
Oh, is it?
I think
Okay.
so.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good. Then I need to sit down and play it. Because yeah,
The oldest
that's
one on my list is Mario Sunshine, where I think
I've never finished that either.
I do actually want to finish it. But yeah, I even have the Mario 3D All Stars game,
oh
and
right.
I want to go back and finish that one, but I haven't yet. I've never played too far into it either, and despite loving Mario games, like I'm a big Mario fan, but
Right.
yeah,
That's weird.
I suppose it is.
You should play it.
I should. You're right.
Mhm.
All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Namova, who says Dragon Quest XI released in Japan with a 3DS version that recreated the PS4 version as an old school SNES-like adventure. What other modern games should be given this treatment?
Most of them.
I think RPGs obviously lend themselves
Right.
most to this just because of the mechanics, right? Especially turn-based RPGs. I don't think you could do
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16, for instance, which is a very action-focused version of that, as a sort of old school Final Fantasy game. But Dragon Quest, that works, right?
Right.
Whenever that next game comes out, they could do something like that. And actually, yeah, the 3DS version or they extended it for the Switch. I think they made more sections where you could play in 2D because
It was
people
like the
liked that
S
3DS
version, right? Is that?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's
Yeah.
right.
That was a very cool idea.
What I would love to see is a game uh like Dead Space come out. And I think recently somebody actually put out a Dead Space demake where it
Yeah.
was a PS1 version of Dead Space. I don't know if you've seen that video. Um and they did it for Bloodborne or whatever. I'd love to see like a big AAA. This won't happen, but I'd
Right.
love to see a AAA game like Dead Space be like, okay, one of the graphics modes is PS1.
God.
I think that would be amazing because
Uh,
oftentimes you'll see see modern games have like an 8-bit filter or like a filter in
Right.
photo mode or whatever. I'd love to see something where it's like, here's the PlayStation 1 filter where it looks like a PS1 game.
I'd be all for seeing like Last of Us or Uncharted is like a side-scrolling 16-bit action game.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
The cinema scenes, just still pictures with the little text underneath it. I'd be all for that.
Indeed. All right, let's do this one from Hacker Alias 1 Star, who says, I recently gave Sonic Frontiers another shot. I didn't enjoy the game throughout the first island, but now I'm on the third island and I'm really starting to enjoy it. And I'm someone who generally dislikes / thinks open world games are incredibly lazy. Did any of you finish this one?
I never went back to it.
Same here.
I'm not even sure I got to the third island. I'm on whatever that desert island is.
Yeah, you got further than me.
It
Yeah.
turned out where it's just like it was such a slog in that area. It didn't feel fun
Yeah.
anymore. Almost as if I'd seen what the game has to offer in that first island. And, I just wasn't into it after that. But
Yeah.
I haven't gotten
Try
back
it
to it.
again.
And now I feel like the next open world game I'm going to play is going to be Tears of the Kingdom. And I don't want to have like more than one open world game going at once because it's
Right.
just so easy to like lose your place in those games. So yeah, Sonic Frontiers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Nah, not for me.
Not for me either.
Nor I.
What was that, Phil?
I said nor I.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, let's do. Well, we'll wrap up with this one. Okay. Listener John says, emergency submission. What's your favorite donut?
Tim Hortons has a Boston cream that I really like.
Yes. Boston cream is like
It's usually
right
my
up
go-to.
there.
Yeah.
That's right up there for me as well.
I like the jelly filled. They're my favorite.
You like the jelly filled donut?
Yep.
Okay.
I like a good apple fritter once in a while.
Oh, I love an apple fritter.
Apple fritter.
Yep.
We have a donut place up here in Seattle called Top Pot.
Yep. Top Pot donuts are good.
Top Pot donuts are very good. I usually get a double trouble at Top Pot. Double trouble is a chocolate glazed donut that also has chocolate frosting on top of it.
Oh.
And it is very delicious. Yeah. Get that and a Boston cream.
Yeah.
You got yourself some diabetes.
I was gonna say you eat 2 donuts at once. I'm too afraid of having a heart attack to do that anymore.
Not recently, no. But in the past, I have been known to. Yeah. Now I go for walks.
Yeah,
in the morning,
like a weirdo.
2 donuts.
Walk to the donut place. Is that what you you buy
Exactly.
2? So then the next morning you have 1 left. So that's your to the donut place donut, and then you buy 2 more, and you have a walk back donut, and then you save the other one for the next day.
Now that's a
That's a good
plan
system.
right there. That's a
good
very
I
good
just
system.
came up with that.
I like that.
Yeah. I mean, you're
Yeah.
walking, you're eating it while you're exercising. That means no calories.
You're burning them off. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a
That
0
walk to the donut
calorie.
place has got to burn
donut.
at least 50 calories.
Maybe, depending on how far away it is. Yeah. Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1Podcast on the Twitters or @P1Podcast @Mastodon.social if you're feeling up to that. Or we have an internet website, player1podcast.com. There you'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward. You'll also find Generation 16 episodes as they happen. New one hitting soon,
Tomorrow.
right?
Tomorrow.
If you're not a patron.
Yep.
Yes. Please check that out. And you will also find show notes and links to all the things that we talked about on our website, and a link to our Discord server where we can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
If you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting player1podcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Stitcher Radio. We're on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on can you watch us on Twitters anymore?
No.
You can't watch us on Twitter anymore because that got taken away from us.
Probably need a blue tick or something at this point.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on twitch.televisions. You can watch us on the YouTubes.
Mhm.
Typically we record on Sundays at 5:30 specific time. Not today.
No.
Not today. Due to circumstances certainly beyond my control. That's why we're recording early.
Yeah.
But typically it's Sundays at 5:30. But I'll tell you what, if you follow our Twitter account or our Mastodon account, you can find out when we are doing our next live show. And I'll tell you what, if you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. CJ is in the market for a small table to keep in his room there so he doesn't have to have his expensive VR equipment strewn all over the floor.
It goes with all the expensive art strewn all over the floor.
I'm using that equipment. It normally
Are you using it on the floor?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Also, CJ needs to find someone to reupholster his couch. Because
there was a situation, let's say.
Boy.
Yeah.
That soaks in. That's hard to get out, folks.
That's right.
No, your Patreon money helps keep our show going. All that stuff,
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we're not just taking your money. We're giving back.
We're giving.
Because if you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
cheap,
you gain access to a special bonus episode that we record right after this. And we will be recording it right after this, where we play games, track-wise, having fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ.
Yeah.
Do we have a game for this week?
We do have a game.
Oh,
Phil,
good. What is it?
It is one that I'm very excited about.
What?
Using the perils of AI technology, I have created a pseudo EGM review quiz, but using ChatGPT to its fullest extent. I asked it for 10 obscure video games that were released in the month of April, and which it gave me.
April of any year?
April of any year.
April of any, okay.
And then I asked it to create a 100-word summary of each game without mentioning the name of the game, the characters in the game, or the publisher of the game, which it did on command.
Oh dear.
And so you guys are going to be guessing what games those are. And as an extra little bonus wrinkle, I went over to the Bing AI art place and put in the first sentence of these summaries in there, and it created an image
Oh no.
based on the summary that we will take a look at that may or may not give you a hint as to
Oh, this is
what
gonna
the
be
game
this is gonna be a
is.
nightmare.
This could be nightmarish, but it turned out actually quite humorous.
Oh dear.
So we'll have fun with it maybe.
Okay. How many of these are there again?
Well, I did 10, but we don't have to
Okay.
do all 10. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for this
I'm excited
this
as
horrible
well.
thing.
This horrible AI generated quiz. Yeah.
Oh.
Which of course I
Okay.
think some of the ChatGPT doesn't know everything, and I think it got some of the release dates wrong for these games.
Well, that certainly wouldn't surprise me
Yeah, yeah.
at all. So I would be impressed if they're all actually real video games.
Well, it took a few runs to actually get a list, which is why I asked it for 10, because I started off asking it for like 7, and it
Yeah.
would give me like 2 of those 7 wouldn't actually be games.
It's
So,
wonderful technology. Our
yes.
society is going to function very well.
It very confidently told me that those were games, though.
We're so
Oh, you bet it
screwed.
did. Absolutely it did.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we are doomed as a species.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to
Certainly
that.
are.
I'll tell you what. Hopefully you join us for that, friends. If you have a couple bucks left over, why don't you go over to patreon.com/Sewart to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you're a supporter of the $5 variety,
Also cheap.
you get access to the weekly commute, which is the weekly vlog series that I get ChatGPT to make for me every week. So God knows what it's going to say this week, but I'm sure it'll be interesting. No, where I talk about the different projects I've been working on. Also been going through a lot of my old Gaming Age reviews. Actually did GoldenEye 007 last week. And boy, what I learned from that is I didn't like GoldenEye 007. But the other thing this past week, I also sort of went through and did a sort of final summary of the time that I spent on the I Will episode, the laser active Mega LD game that is the subject of the episode that, yes, will be released to everybody on Sunday, April 30th. So please consider coming in, supporting the show. I would really appreciate it. Every dollar helps.
Outstanding. Is that it?
I think
it
that's it.
is.
We're
Yeah.
done. CJ,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Phil.
Gregory,
Yo.
thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
And as always, a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners, a single one of you. Remember, as always, take care of yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends. Do what you got to do to be safe. Be just the nicest possible person you can be to everyone around you. My gosh. And we hope to see you next week, assuming this AI chatbot CJ has unleashed on this show doesn't take over and
Possible.
just start doing the show for itself.
Mm.
We'll find out. We're doomed. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.